Do it. Hello. Muting. Okay. Making co-host is done. Great.
I'm showing an audio reading off of like your speaker. Should be good, but I have no way to test it.
Okay. Let's see what he says.
We just have to make him a co-host and test if he can share his screen, yeah?
Yes. Yes, exactly. I'll stop the share.
I know. I'm here at home.
Thank you.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm not worried. I'm very zen today.
Oh, you told me you were grumpy. So like,
Oh. Zen and grumpy. They can go together.
you're like that one dwarf in Snow White, but doing yoga.
Yeah, exactly.
Change your name.
You mean Sneezy? Ah. Hello. How's it going? Oh, good. I need to not wear this until I'm like actually.
If you need to speak to
Hey, Don. Can you hear me?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to confirm that you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we're good to go. Appreciate all your opportunity here to let us present.
Yeah, of course. We're glad to have you. And actually, just so you know, BudWorks is not able to present today, so you will be in the spotlight. You will be the only one presenting. So.
Okay. Sure, we're ready. We've done this a few times, so we're ready to go.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, we're just hanging out for another few minutes here, and we'll get going at 9 o'clock.
Cool, sounds good. I just got a refill of my coffee, so I'm good whenever you are.
Perfect.
All right, cheers.
Cool. Yeah, totally. Cool. Oh, okay. Well, we need to get started here. So, thank you. I don't think so. I need Nick is who I need. Alright. Alright guys. Yeah. Hey guys, we're gonna get started here in a minute with 1 million cups. If you wanna come join us. And then I'm gonna stop the music. Yay, thank you. Everybody come closer. Yeah, the front row's almost full. There's only one more chair. Don't delay. Exactly. For a limited time only, there's a chair available in the front row. And it has your name on it, Tim. Oh my gosh. Cool. Okay. Well, let us begin. I'm going to share my screen, get our slides up here. All right. See this? Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups, Denver. You may notice that I am not a person named Nick or a male person, but I am emceeing today and I am excited to be here. I'm probably not going to be quite as funny as he is, and I do have a really bad pun available for the end. So you won't be missing out on your pun, so that'll be good. If you're here, we're starting now. There's coffee and tea in the back, free coffee for anyone who attends 1 Million Cups here at Green Spaces. If you guys have coffee on Zoom, maybe hold up your mug and show us. Yay! We're getting there. We're getting there. We probably have like 7 cups today. Someday we'll have 1 million cups. So I guess that's me. Great. So just a little bit about 1 Million Cups in case you don't know. We meet every Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Green Spaces and on Zoom, so you can join us either way. Hybrid awesomeness. We've got free coffee and tea. The structure of the event is that we usually have 2 presenters. Today we have 1 presenter. Each person gets 6 minutes to talk about their idea or startup or product. And then there's 15 to 20 minutes of Q&A after that. This is a super safe space to talk about your idea. And there's really a ton of different ways you can go about it. So I'll talk about that a little later. But in general, we try to discuss ideas, not people, being really conscientious while we're giving our feedback that it's constructive, as well as the presenters accepting feedback in a really constructive way. If you have questions, maybe just limit it to 1 to 2 questions if you have one, or feedback. If you're on Zoom, you can use the raise hand button. Hi, welcome. And if you aren't able to figure out how to raise your hand, just send us a question in the chat. Also, for Zoom people, please just remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking. And then all that stuff. And maybe even change your name to show your company or your job title so people can get to know you that way. If you are interested in presenting your company, I know we have a couple of people here that I know should probably present their ideas. We just ask you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Is it an idea, a product, or a startup? is it kind of in its teenage stage, which means it hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. You don't feel like it's complete. And then you also have thought about it enough to be able to talk about it for the big presentation. And then the final thing that we ask is that all our presenters are interested in receiving feedback gracefully and excitedly. So is anybody new to 1 Million Cups today? That one here? Anybody new? Well, welcome to. You're gonna love it.
Hey, Allie, your mic is kind of muffly. You can fix it. It was good, and then it stopped being good.
Is that better? Can you hear me better? Yes. No.
A little bit better. Go ahead and try for a second.
Okay. We have a website. It's pretty cool. 1millioncups.com/Denver. If you go there, you can sign up to get updates about the upcoming presenters. And you can also join the Zoom directly from that page. So that's a pretty cool spot for me to win. If you would like to connect with everybody, we have a 1 Million Cups LinkedIn group. We're pretty active on there, and this is really good about sharing all this stuff from each meeting that we have on that group. So you can go search in LinkedIn 1 Million Cups Denver. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Green Spaces for hosting, with Elephant for the software that we're using for signups, the perks, free coffee. They are amazing. They have 0 emission roasting, which is awesome. Founders Craft, the Commandant Champa, Colorado Lending Source. Thank you to everybody. Let's give a big round of applause for our sponsors. All right. Another big thank you to Green Spaces for having us. We are back in person. Please come join us. It is very fun to talk to people in person again. So, and thank you to all of our volunteers, Nick, who's usually up here emceeing, Darius, Kevin, Carter, Josh, and Courtney, who's behind the scenes, all right, so now the part where Nick usually makes people feel really uncomfortable, and I need to do that too.
Allie,
Yes.
that mic still is muffly. Can you use the handheld mic, or it's I guess you're moving around too much with it, and it's
Oh,
getting a lot of.
can you hear me now? Is this better?
That's great when the problem I think is hitting your clothes, and it's not very clear.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
That's
All
much-
right. So who would like to introduce themselves? We need 3 people. If you don't raise your hand, then I will call on you because that's fun to make you uncomfortable. Okay, Tim. Awesome sauce.
Hello, I'm Tim. This is my first 1 Million Cups. I'm a UX designer, so I create websites and apps. I also am now consulting and freelancing on that. So I'll do audits, things like that, or help plan out apps and websites.
Thank you, Tim. Oh, Mike's gonna go. Perfect.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm an entrepreneur working here in Green Spaces. I'm working on a B2B marketplace for sustainable goods and services for a couple months.
Yay, thank you. Are you gonna go?
Why not? Grab the mic. Good morning. My name is Dave Hebler, and I am with Align to Compete, and we are a marketing agency that specializes in small and medium-sized businesses. Break free of the pack and stand out.
Anybody on Zoom want to introduce yourself? How about David?
I'm David Pelsiger. I have a production company doing videos for startups and nonprofits and institutions, and it's called Storyline. So if you guys are curious, mystoryline.co.
Awesomeness. Thank you, David. All right. Let's make Nick introduce himself as himself.
Thanks, Allie. My name's Nick. I attend 1 Million Cups pretty often. Right now I'm in Chicago, hanging out with family, so that's why I'm not there. While I'm not hosting 1 Million Cups, I manage 3 different B2B SaaS companies. One's called Metric Fire, another one's called Iron.io, and Ring Capture. And outside of 1 Million Cups and that, I like to mountain bike and camp and play volleyball and drink coffee as well. Thanks.
Yay.
Oh, I had a good pun I wanted to share today.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Allie, question, how do you make your coffee? No rush, just, you can let it percolate. Use that one up.
So good. So good. Okay. Thank you for that. Our 1 Million Cups wouldn't be complete without a pun from Nick. All right. Next. Oh, wait. There we go. All right. So just a heads up. Later on, we'll be doing community announcements. So if you have something that you want to share, then start thinking of what that might be. And we'll do that after our presenter today. All righty. So, and then along those lines, as we have done here presenting, just be thinking of maybe one thing, one nugget of feedback you could give him, one question that you have for him, all of that good stuff, because that is the whole point of what we're doing, is to give feedback. All right, so we're going to introduce Don here and his company called iOpen Innovations. iOpen Innovations leverages software, hardware, and IoT to determine hotel room occupancy status in real time. This allows awareness management for hotels and controllable privacy for their guests. We call it Safe Stay 365, the power to know more. And I will hand it off to Don. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Don, you should be able to share your screen.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. And thank you, 1 Million Cups Denver. Denver is awesome. We've been there many times. Love, love, love Denver. Let me find my lovely presentation. And I think, here we go. Do you guys see my screen okay? And can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks again. My name is Don Ballman. I am co-founder and CEO of iOpen Innovations. And really just our mission is to bring insight and awareness to hotel staff and guests. And I'm going to explain really what that involves and our passion. And this really kind of caught us off guard, changed our path, and really gave us a mission to fulfill. So let's jump in. Started playing around with the concept of IoT as a service in late 2015 when the infrastructure became mature enough to really start doing something with IoT. And IoT is short for the Internet of Things. So that's the idea that sensors and devices can talk to each other and provide information that we otherwise wouldn't know. So we were actually, as you can see, and we had an idea, formed the company in 2016, actually formalized late 2016. And you always start out with this idea and you see the end, or at least we saw the end of like everybody celebrating that we made the world a better place. Well, somewhere in the middle is our journey. And that's really where we found our why. And in late 2018, we had an open house, a small office, and we were doing affordable automation, room automation for hotels. We had one of our friends, one of our neighbors, come by, and she said something that knocked me on my side. And she said, which I'll tell you in a minute, but that caused a pivot. And in January 2019, we made a pivot towards remote monitoring. And then COVID hit. And my plan last year was to survive. And so this year we have been seeing the market literally decimated starting to come back, and our market is the hotel market. So with that said, what was it that she said that made us change our direction? Well, she's an ER surgeon. She was traveling all across the country at the time. What she said was simple. I really just want to know that no one is in my hotel room when I open the door. That's it. And that really stunned me because I never think about that. Being a guy, what I think about is I want to get in my hotel room and find the remote, the TV remote. That's what I'm thinking about. But she had a completely different set of priorities. And so Jessica, my co-founder and wife and boss, she began to do research. She's CMO, and she's very good at research. We found, based on a study late 2019, 90% of women business travelers don't feel safe. Here's another problem we uncovered, the unseen. Now with COVID, we all have to deal with our safety when we travel abroad. The number two, at the top of the list, the number two thing that people want as guests is they want to know that the room is sanitized and safe, right behind pricing. And number three, my personal favorite is the unexpected. And we all get that knock on the door, housekeeping, and the door opens without any kind of warning. We have a solution. So our solution is a scalable, robust system of awareness. This informs both sides of the door without sacrificing any privacy. So as a guest, you're out and about for the day. You know that your room is secure at all times. And you'll get a text message if you opt in to know when housekeeping or if maintenance or if someone enters your hotel room. You'll know. It's kind of your smart room away from your smart home. That's the idea. For housekeeping, you know when someone's in the room. So when you knock, housekeeping, you wait, because now you know someone is inside and you give them time to come to the door. This is no app. We really want to build this as a seamless, easy, just a nice flow from check-in to check-out. So no app to download, it just works. You get a text message after you check into the hotel. You can opt in through a link on your text message, and then you can see the room status, your room status. How it works is we put a couple of sensors in rooms. We put a PIR motion sensor, we put temperature, and we also put humidity. So these three things are our base level. We can do more, but that's our base level. For the hotel, they see at a glance all the rooms that are occupied, currently occupied with someone in, so they leave those to the guest. And if it's an empty room, we can notify the hotel, hey, this is out of a tolerance. The room is too hot or the room is too cool. You're burning energy. So this really feeds back into a sustainability model for the hotel and a budget model as well. So they save money. What the system sees is just a grid. Basically, we use no cameras, we use no heat maps, we use no technology to identify specific people. We're really big on guest privacy because we're guests ourselves. So we want to deliver on, of course, what the main goal is: hotel staff and guest awareness, sustainability and savings back to the hotel. We also found that this helps first responders if they ever need to come to the hotel. Let's say there's a gas leak or someone smells smoke. You got to empty those rooms and check out the building. This is a great way for first responders to see who's still in the room. And the ultimate goal that we're getting to is a prescriptive analytics model. Basically, our approach is that we don't compete, but we complement. So our system is completely autonomous, drops into a hotel room that's smart or that's completely has no technology at all. Either one, we work, and we don't compete. We work alongside of what's there. so that, you know, hopefully at the end of the day, we do make the world a better place by sharing awareness, by making your home away from home more of a smart home, and really, really just providing that peace of mind, and especially in these COVID times, I think all of us could really use that. So this is iOpen Innovation in a nutshell, a holistic view. I'd love to hear your feedback and yeah, any questions. Thank you so much.
Woo-hoo! Round of applause. We're done.
Thank you.
All right, so now we will open it up to questions and feedback. My first question for you, Don, is what kind of feedback are you looking for from us? How can we help you the most?
Yeah, great question. You know, we've done a few of these and we get great feedback every time. I mean, 1 Million Cups is such a great organization. Really just holistically, what people think of the idea that we do have a fair amount of technology already built. We do have a lot of technology still to build. What, as a guest, do you find this valuable? And would you use it if it was available in the hotel?
I think we have extras. All right. So, anybody have any initial feedback, questions for Don? Brittany?
Sure. My first question is, normally people would put this into an app, and I'm not sure if they want control over the data, and I noticed that you didn't, which as a consumer, I really appreciate. But do you believe you're going to lose anything as a company by not having this app side as far as control or cookies or other data that you may need to be informed?
That's a great question. So we have looked at that. We've gone back and forth a few times, but we still feel that an appless approach is really the way, not just for us, but I think it's going to be the way of the future. You're going to just see technology around you just work without you even knowing it's there. It's just going to become a more and more automated approach when you go to the store, or when when you travel, when you get into your taxi or your Uber, and that all that just kind of will glue together into a seamless experience. There's a couple of things that we do miss out initially, but technology is actually growing at a pace where we can compensate for that. For example, and sorry, I'll be really quick, but knowing where people are at, so we can predict when they arrive back to the hotel. We can actually do that through the cell phone carriers. So this is not something that we're doing right now, but that's one of the big things, is we would like to do geofencing as we automate and integrate into hotels, and we can control the temperature of the rooms, reset it back to what they liked initially from being set to an economic setting for the hotel while they're away. So that's probably the biggest thing that we would be able to do with an app. And again, we're not trying to go with apps, because that's, a lot of people have challenges. There's a lot of different apps per hotel, and there's a lot of different apps that each of us have on our phone. Try to remember an app from a startup, from a hotel stay from a year ago. That's a challenge for me. And so I think just having something that just works and then stops working when you check out, that's really the main goal. I went way over on that answer, but I hope that answers your question. I hope that helps.
She's nodding her head in agreement. All right, here's another one.
Great presentation, Don. Other than the privacy reveal with women, which I think is awesome, have you had any others that you've presented this to that you're like, either a hotel operator or some other type of operator that is another use that you had never had imagined, that they say, oh, we could use this for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So I've just been talking to a resort in Wisconsin, and they haven't signed an agreement. They have our agreement, and we're looking at that. We're looking at piloting there in the near future. One of the requests that they had, which is very interesting, their resort is spread over a couple of buildings, and what they need to know is that there are some key rooms that need to stay at a certain temperature throughout the winter, and that's important to prevent the pipes from freezing. And I'm sure that you guys are kind of in the same boat there in Denver, you know, when you get up into like Snowmass and some of the resort areas. So that's something that I never thought about is more of a holistic building, approach for protecting the infrastructure of the building. So we're looking into that. We can certainly integrate and automate an automation system. We're looking at that. One of my guys has over 25 years in control systems and automation. So as soon as we sign the deal, we'll be integrating that piece as well. So we can keep those key rooms at a certain setting all year round. So great question. Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody on Zoom have any feedback or questions?
I can jump in. So you asked for your for feedback on whether or not I would use this. Probably not, but I'm also not your customer. I think the hotel is your customer. For me, my big deal breakers is like price and location. And I'm also a white male, so I guess I don't have that safety issue. Like I accept clean ladies going in and out my room whenever as being part of a hotel guest. I was curious about the competition space, if there's anybody competing with you on this and what that looks like. And I'm also curious with hotels, the sustainability, the temperature adjusting, if the technology's in there, shouldn't they already be able to like adjust the rooms automatically? Or how is you're coming in and you're adding the technology so they can do that? I was still confused on that.
Oh, sure. Great question. As far as the existing technology, so we can integrate that into our system. That's not really a problem. So if, for example, there's already an automated system that controls that temperature level, what we like to do is we can provide a redundant system. So if, let's say, for example, technology fails, if their PTAC system, which controls, let's say, the heating and cooling in the room, if that temperature malfunctions, if that device malfunctions, we can also alert the hotel, hey, the room temperature is this, not that. So there's a couple of benefits there having a redundant system. And certainly we're able to, just depends on per case, per hotel, but we can integrate that into a holistic system. One of the asks that we got actually last week, talking to a rather large VR with vacation rental, they were asking, can we consolidate? Because they said we have tons of technology in our rooms, but it's too much. And we got an app for this, we got an app for that. Can you just give us a holistic, consolidated app or a place to go look at that and control that? And absolutely, I mean, that's part of our goal. So I hope that answers your question. And to your note about being an older white guy, I'm an older white guy too. So for me, I see the benefit of, let's say I'm traveling abroad, I forget my passport in my jacket pocket, and I'm out. And for me, that's my safety blanket, and I feel really like freaked out if I don't have my passport with me. And so things like that, you know that your room has not been entered, so you can go back and get that. You know that it's safe. It's really a peace of mind. That's one aspect of it. Yeah, so I think there's benefits that will come out of this that we haven't seen yet. And last point is I just want to parallel what we're doing with Wi-Fi. And about 10 or 12 years ago, we had a huge deployment of Wi-Fi. It really kind of surged over the last 5 years or so. where each hotel saw it as it was a cost, but it was also a benefit to their guests. So you're right, the hotel is our customer, but we're really building the service not only for them, but for their guests. So there's kind of a level up experience there. I hope that explain, and I hope I hit your questions on that.
Oh, what about the competition? Where one day part?
Yes, I knew there was one that I missed. Thank you. So there are about half a dozen competitors doing very, very similar to what we're doing. We think we have some special sauce that they're not really doing. Most of our competitors are focused on the hotel side, on the hotel operations side. And that's really, it makes sense. As a business, you want to make sure those hotel is running most efficiently. Right now, there's a huge deficit in hotel staff, and hotels are trying to find people that can't fill positions due to COVID-19. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone is doing quite what we're doing. We are a first mover in this, whereas we're combining the two. We're combining basically both sides of the door, and we're providing that awareness to both sides while we maintain 100% guest privacy. So that is unique, and we are a first mover on that.
Cool. Thanks, Dan. Anybody else have feedback? Yeah. Right.
Hi, Don. This is Josh. I was
Hey,
curious
Josh.
as to, when you're working with the hotels that are already using like energy efficient technology where you're putting a card in, that card then activates the lights, it activates the AC. Do you see in the future ability to work with those? And this is very minute, but maybe an algorithm that would actually tell someone, hey, it's going to take 30 minutes to cool the room to the temperature that you'd like, and then just have that, next to to turn on to kind of give that extra layer of customer service to the people that you'll be working with.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great input, and I think that's really, I think the trend of technology is really to kind of bring all the pieces together and provide a holistic experience so that you'll be able to. I think it's going to run more like a Tesla. When you put it on auto drive, it's just going to, it's going to drive for you. Maybe you still need to monitor. But I think that's really the trend that we're seeing with hotels and travel in general, especially now. We have a huge emphasis on contactless travel. So check in, stay in your room as contactless as possible. Yeah, so that's a great point, and I think you're absolutely spot on with that. That's the trend, and I see that. We will eventually get into that when we're a bit more on our legs. So yeah, great insight.
All right. Um,
Sorry, Ali, I can't hear.
hello? Can you hear me?
There we go.
So you keep saying it's gonna be like a Tesla. It's gonna be a secret technology that's working behind the scenes. Where are you at with your technology? Like in the process, and what's your plan, like your roadmap for building?
That's a great question. I love that question. I've never been asked that question, but I really appreciate that. So right now we have the fundamentals on the hotel side working. So we can detect temperature and humidity. We can detect motion in room. All of that's private. We're actually in between iterations right now. So we've got a huge push to do a next level of features that will include just what we already have, but more on a more mature, developed level. So we can already sense, room activity. We can sense temperature and humidity, we will we have completed a cycle on the guest side, but that's still basically the technology pieces are connected. But we'll need to develop that much more than where it is today. And so today, to answer your questions, we could go into hotels and offer value to hotels just on the simple side of showing operations, showing where guests are in their rooms or not. That goes a long way to social distancing and that extra layer of caution and still, you know, an unpredictable COVID world. So we can do that. We can bring value today. But mostly on the hotel side. So.
And who is building your software? Is it you guys, or are you hiring someone?
Yeah, sure. Great question. The hardware is done through a manufacturer here in the United States, just over in Utah. Great company to work with. So they are certified. They have FCC certifications on all their sensors. So all of that is up to, well, actually not up to consumer, but it's actually a level up into commercial grade hardware. For the software side, we have a great technology leader in Austin. We're in Dallas. We're building kind of this remote team. I've been talking to a couple of guys in the Ukraine actually yesterday. So we are rebuilding our software team. We've kind of gone up and down due to various, you know, startup challenges as well as COVID. So yeah, we're rebuilding right now. So but our team basically has the experience and the knowledge to develop the software side. So that's we're doing that in-house.
Cool, thank you. Anybody here have questions? I know, I see you, Ganesh. We'll get you next.
So my next thought was, if you are in the revamping stage, since you've already identified that, you know, you have different audiences and they want different things from it, just on a very basic level, be it for the hotel side or the consumer side, it might be a good idea to have the same thing they do in cars with sport mode and eco mode. You kind of have, you know, not to be binary, but male mode and female mode. It's like, hey, we're going to push all of these things as priority or all of these, so that you could kind of have two different user sets and deliver what actually matters. I think you'll get more buy-in if people see that it can be both eco or sport mode, to go back to our car analogy.
No, that's fantastic. That's a great idea. I have not thought about that, but that is a wonderful idea. We certainly do some research on that. Thank you.
Cool. Ganesh, what's your question?
Yeah. So your biggest selling point to the hotels or your customer is women's safety. Is that correct? Like if
Yes,
I
sir.
boil it down to one, okay. And then what percentage, like to your data, what percentage of women kind of like feel that way? What percentage, like, have you done kind of like survey before building the actual hardware and going to the customer? Like what percentage of women feel and that way? Because and when we say safety, there are like 10 different things, as you know, but and how many of them might be kind of like just get covered with the IoT devices that you have? That's the first question. And then second, a lot of hotels uses a lot of different softwares. So, and every customer, like if you want to pull the customer data in order to, like if they checked in or checked out or all their phone number, and to in order to do the text message and to do the opt-in if they opt in or not. So are you building like a separate software for that, or are you have a third party software that just integrates with a lot of like technology and the softwares out there for the hoteling management?
So that's a great question. So it's and you bring up a really good point. It is a slippery slope for what we're trying to do and what PMS is, a PMS already provides to hotels. So a PMS is a property management system, and that system really is very focused on the operations side of hotels. What we want to do is we want to actually integrate with these systems that are in hotels. Each hotel, there are some popular PMSs, and then there are some very small companies like us and only a few hotels. So it's really a per hotel basis to integrate into a PMS. We don't really want personal data other than sending a text message or an email to a person, or actually another way is not even that, but providing a QR code. So the person either in the room or at the front desk, they can scan the QR code and verify that they are a guest and be let in to see the room on their phone. So that is something we have to really we're actually tweaking right now. And I mentioned that we're working towards prescriptive analytics, which is we want to take the data that's already there and we want to build out on top of that another layer. And we really want to focus on the building itself, the holistic value of the building and the operations. So we want to keep that guest privacy at our utmost, right at the top. So by doing that, we can tell, well, all these rooms are pretty balanced as far as booking, but this room has more hours, accumulated hours of where guests have stayed in this room, let's say 302, as opposed to 303, which has the same amount of booking, but the hours are far less. So maybe this room 302 gets worn out faster because people are in that room for longer. So these are the kind of stats and analytics that we want to provide to the hotel. It's kind of a guided path of when to start considering you're going to have to refresh this room or things like that. And I'm sorry, repeat your first question again.
Yeah, sure. So what have you done survey of the actual users, like how many women's feel that way? And
Right. So we have surveyed a lot of folks in general, and we have a very high, I think it was, I think it's right around 90%. They really want something like this as a guest. And a lot of the survey was taken before COVID. So there is a high interest that we've found of people being okay with this and really wanting this and seeing this as something to help them know that as they travel, their stuff that's left in the room is safe while they're away. And as far as device and device failure, we do know instantly if a device fails, we get that message. We do know that if a device has a false positive or a reading that's not accurate, we don't have stats on that right now. We haven't done enough testing. We have done beta testing in hotels before, but that's really the next step is we want to pilot this for free and just offer it to hotels, especially this year. So many hotels are still recovering, and we want to get this out, get that feedback, that live data, and beef up the accuracy. So great question. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Don. We have time for one more question or feedback. Anybody here at Green Spaces have anything? Mike, have something?
Hi, Don. Many hotel chains are developing their own apps and use their apps for booking tours. Are you going to integrate with apps like that? Have an API that would offer
Sorry, I barely heard that, but you're talking. I think the question is, do we plan to integrate in those smaller apps like indie hotels, independent hotels? Absolutely.
Hotels or chains. Would you tie to those companies so they could integrate with your service?
Absolutely. We had a conversation last week with a rather large VR And that was one of their questions, would we integrate into their existing system? And absolutely, yeah, we can do that. And we plan on that. I had a conversation a bit ago with Hilton, with one of their franchises, and that was a question as well. If we like you, and it looks like we might like you, then would you consider integrating into our Hilton app? And the answer is absolutely yes. We want the lowest barrier to entry. We want the happiest, seamless, effortless experience to the guest and to the hotel as possible. So we'll definitely integrate. So
Cool beans. All right. Thank you, Don. Let's everybody give Don a round of
thank you so
applause.
much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Love the feedback. Thank you.
Great. Cool. All right. So time for community announcements. Does anyone have an announcement? Jody?
Hello. Hey everybody, it's Jody. Our event is coming up soon, June 4th. Make sure you lock in that date. It's gonna be at Green Spaces. We're gonna be talking about CBD and mental health. So make sure you get your tickets. Allie's gonna give you guys the link. All right. Thanks.
All right. Anybody else? Any announcement? Oh, Sam?
Yeah, I have a quick one. Hey everyone, Sam. I am founder of Oslo. I'm actually going to be presenting next week, but I'm coming on to talk about the City Park Farmers Market that started this past weekend. If anyone has an open Saturday and wants to go enjoy some sunshine, I'll be there along with, I think, 100 other amazing vendors. So come check us out.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Any other announcements? Things you guys want to share with the community? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So just a reminder, we're here every week, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Usually we have 2 presenters. And the next one will be, well, actually, that's today, isn't it? I'm not as good as Nick at updating the slide. Darn. Well, I'm sure you can figure out what the date of next Wednesday is. I think we're all smart people here. All right, continuing on. We're at Green Spaces here, or you can join us on Zoom. Just a quick reminder, coming to me from Nick. May he rest in peace. You are awesome. Everyone here at Green Spaces, everyone on Zoom, everyone is awesome. And yes, my pun. Thank you. My pun today, the pun of the day, although Nick already did share one. May he rest in peace. I have a go-to pun that I always say, and this will be my pun today. And that rhymed. So that was how do you clean a tuba? A tuba toothpaste. Oh, see? Now I know how it feels. All right. Cool. So any if you're interested in learning more about 1 Million Cups, you can go to our website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. Invite your friends. We before COVID, this was like a 40-person event, so we're slowly kind of building back up to that. So please tell your friends about it. We really want to support the entrepreneurs in Denver, and this is such a great, safe place for them to share their idea, get feedback, and practice answering questions that they might have from investors or customers or things like that. So, as you can see, we're really passionate about what we're doing. So, tell your friends. Please also consider applying to present. We're always looking for more presenters. If you have a business or an idea or a product or a startup or things of that nature that is in that kind of stage where you're looking for feedback, come practice talking about what you're doing. It's so valuable, which I just know from doing it with my company. It's scary, but it's super, super valuable. You can also find info on the presenters that we have each week on our website too. Please follow us on social media. and all that good stuff. This is Nick Pun from last week, and thank you for joining us. If you're here at Green Spaces, feel free to stay and hang out. People who attend 1 Million Cups are welcome to stay all day at Green Spaces and co-work from our space. Free coffee and tea. I'm going to turn on the music and we'll just hang out and get to know each other. And if you're on Zoom, feel free to hang out and chat on there too. So thanks so much, everybody, for coming. Yeah. Thanks, Don.